Well, hello beautiful people and welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm helping you to understand and unpack the one document that helps you to get funding or financing for your business. That is the business plan. I'm going to be going through about 9 steps that you need to keep in mind as you're building your business plan, because it is very much important, and it's the one document that funders will analyze and assess, together with the other documents when they're making a decision as to whether to give you the money or not. Okay, anyway, I am Tandisa Mahe and I talk all things business, making money, and the family life. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for supporting us. We truly appreciate it. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell if you love anything that has got to do with growth, growing your business, making money, and also just family life. Before we rush into this, I want to just clarify the reason why you need to have a proper bankable business plan, okay? The first thing that you need to keep in mind is you need this business plan because it acts as a roadmap. There is no way that you can be able to establish a meaningful, sustainable, viable, humongous business without having a guide or a document that sort of lays out all the aspects of the business, how you actually go about conducting your business, how you get your customers, how you market your business, and all the different elements I'm going to touch on. You need it as a roadmap. You need it as a guide. I call it the Bible of business. That is what a business plan is. And if you don't have it, it's going to be very difficult for you to do a whole lot of different things. Another reason why you need to have it is it helps with decision making. Right now, you're having a business idea or you've started the business, but when it comes to growing the business and moving it to the next level, if you don't have a guiding document that shows you these are the steps that you can actually follow, that shows you the potential of the business, that it will, it will not be easy for you to make the decisions that you need to make sure that you achieve the goals that you'd like to achieve in terms of the business you're running. The other aspect, and which is directly aligned to this video, is that it is the document that is used by funders and investors and financiers to make a decision about whether or not to give you money. So it helps you to unlock resources for your business, financial resources and other resources, because it doesn't really matter. Even if someone comes in as a partner, comes in as a supporter, comes in as whatever, it doesn't really matter. They're going to ask you to send them your business plan so that they can be able to understand what it is that they're getting into. And the business plan is a document that outlines all of that. The other reason that I'm going to touch on is just for you to be able to monitor progress and for you to improve on some of the things that you are doing. And if you don't have that document, then how are you going to reference where you are in the business, how much you've grown, what you've projected, what you need to change, what you can improve, what you can augment? You're not going to have anything to reference. And sometimes some entrepreneurs get to be so frustrated and feel like they're not seeing any progress. But the question is, if you don't have this document, what are you referencing? What are you using? Are you benchmarking your progress on? Because it might happen that you're making a lot of strides, but because you don't have anything to reference on or reference from, or use as a benchmark, then you can find yourself stuck in a rut where you feel like there's no progress that you're making. And in actual fact, it might happen that there is progress that you're making. So keep that in mind in terms of why. It is not only for funding, it is for a whole lot of different reasons. I could mention them until tomorrow, but just keep those in mind. My advice is always start with a BMC as you're doing your business planning. A BMC is basically your business model canvas, okay? I'm not going to get into the history of where it came from, but basically it is a 1 page. It's your business idea written in 1 page, covering 9 specific elements, and I'm going to tell you about them. And I think this one we could do at any point. And if you feel that you'd like me to do like a proper session with your business or with like a group of businesses, just drop me in the comment section and say, I would like for you to assist me with a BMC. I can do that one for free without charging you guys, just so that you can be able to have a baseline, basic understanding of what the business model canvas is and how it fits into the building of the actual business plan. Now, the BMC has got 9 main parts, okay? And these are the parts. The first part is, and this is basically it's in no particular order. There's no order, but I've just structured this one based on how I like to build it, okay? So I start by focusing on the first part, which is the product value proposition. The value proposition, basically, whether it's a product or it's a service, the value proposition. This is what value are you bringing to the market, to your target customers? What problem are you trying to solve? What solution are you coming up with? This is where you describe your value proposition for the business idea that you have, or for the business that you're running or that you'd like to start. It doesn't really matter if it's a service or a product-based business. Here, we're talking about the value proposition. The second element is key activities. What are the key activities that you need to implement so that you can be able to realize the business objectives that you have? What are some of the things that you need to do? This is where you include all of those different things, all the activities that you need to do before you're able to reach where you'd like to reach, or before you're able to provide this value to your target customers. The next one is customer segmentation, or customer segments, or basically customers. What kind of customers are you looking for? What segments of the market are you choosing to target? What type of customers do you want to bring value to? What type of customers are you actually producing a solution for? The next element is key resources. Sometimes when we're starting a business and we're diving in, we don't really have an idea of the resources that we need until you start writing them down. These could be so many different resources. It could be human resources, financial resources, all kinds of resources, assets that you need for your business, equipment, tools, whatever it is that you need to ensure that you're able to provide the value to your target customers. This is where you provide all of the resources that you need in your business. Okay, so the next one is cost structure. And cost structure refers to what costs you need to incur to provide the value to the customers that you are targeting. So what are the costs that you need to incur in the production process, in whichever level, in the marketing level, in the product production, whatever, in the service provision, logistics, whatever types of costs or expenses that you need to incur in the process of you providing the value to your target customer. The next element is revenue streams. Here, you're talking about how you're basically answering the question, how are you going to make money in this business? Okay. How is the money going to be flowing into your business? And basically, this is the revenue, the income. Where is it going to come from? Is it going to be coming from selling one product, a couple of products, couple of services, value-added services? What is actually going to ensure that your business makes money? How is the money going to flow from the provision of the value to the customers? What will they be paying for, or how will the money be redirected into the business? The next element is channels or distribution. Distribution really refers to how you get your solution, your value, your product, your service to your customers. How does it meet? How do the two converge? How does your product or your service get to your customers? This is where you talk about it, the distribution element of the BMC. You would lay out exactly the process that relates to moving the product or the service from your business right to your target customers. The next one is partnerships. There is no business that can actually stand without partnerships. And sometimes people, when they think about partnerships, they think about, it means people that will come and support the business or whatever, something like that. But partnerships could literally just begin from your suppliers. If you are producing a service or a product, you might just need people to supply you with some raw materials or other things that you need as part of your production process. So anyone that can add value to your business, that is important to the operations of your business, that is important to ensuring that you're able to translate your value or solution right to your customer. Sometimes it could also mean if you're selling a physical product, how do you make sure that the product is able to move from your business to your customer? This is where you talk about it under the distribution element. The last one is customer relationships. This is a very, very important one. I think sometimes as small businesses, as entrepreneurs, we like to forget the importance of creating strong relationships with our customers. So there are so many different strategies that you could implement to create strong relationships with your customer, and this is where you talk about them. The customer relationship element within the BMC is focused on how are you going to engage with your audience, with your customers? How do you engage? How do you create communication? How do you make sure that there is flow between your business and your customers? This is now post-service, when you have already provided the service, even before, sometimes when you're nurturing your potential customers. But there needs to be a way in which you create a relationship with your customers, and that is how you're going to be able to get loyal customers for your business, and that is how you get sustainability for your business. These are all the elements that are very much important when you're building your BMC. It's in a one page. I am going to actually find a template. When I'm done building my website, I'm going to put a template on my website as well, so that you can be able to, just download it and make use of it within your business as you are trying to build your business plan. Now let's move right along. Now let us get into the actual components of a bankable business plan. The first section is the executive summary. And I always advise that write this part as the last. Like once you've finished the entire business plan, this is when you come back to the executive summary and actually write it. Basically, the business plan executive summary is a 2 to 4 page component of the business plan that summarizes the entire business plan. Now, there might be someone going, why do you want to summarize a whole 30 to 40 page business plan or 50 page business plan in 2 to 4 pages? This is the reason why. Most of the time, the people that will read this business plan, except for internally in the business, they do not have time. They just don't have time. So they would like to, by the time they go into the entire business plan, scan reading it, they want to have grasped an idea of what it is that you are proposing within the business plan. The model, the market, the customers, how you're going to promote the business, the organizational structure, the production plan, the risks, everything. They want it summarized so that they have a heli view, an overview of what you are, going to be presenting in the rest of the business plan. And I think sometimes we actually do not spend enough time on the executive summary, causing some decision makers to literally make a decision from your executive summary that they're not even going to read the rest of the document because it's not structured properly. Let me put it like that. It's not structured properly. So this should be the last part that you write. For me, when I do business plans, because this is also a service that I offer in my business, I actually focus on having about 2 pages because I feel like it's the sweet spot. Sometimes I overlap to 3, but do not make it more than 4. Like if it goes to more than 4, then you don't know how to summarize. Okay? The second component within a bankable business plan is now getting into the business model, the business idea itself. Basically here you're answering, what do you want to do? What is the business all about? Like you also talk about the profile of the actual business. This one is very easy. This one is not difficult at all because you're basically presenting what it is that you would like to do within your business. The next part that's important is talking about and focusing on presenting an analysis of the market. You need to analyze the market. What is the overview of the industry? What's the landscape? What are the trends? What are the opportunities? What are the challenges? Who's your target customer or target market? This is what you talk about so that you can also talk about the size so that the decision maker is able to understand the market that you are wanting to get into, how it is structured, how it works. And remember, a business decision maker, especially for funding or financing, they deal with so many different industries. There is no way that they can actually master all of them. Obviously, they know it because they've been doing this for a while. They know a lot of industries in and out sometimes. But that explanation that you incorporate within your business plan is actually going to help them to be focused and say, oh, okay, this is the industry I remember. Oh, okay, this is what is happening in the industry. This is the size. This is the opportunities that are there, these are the challenges and stuff like that. This is a very important segment or section within your business plan. Another one is the marketing and sales strategy. Now here, basically you are saying, in light of the market and how it is structured and everything that's happening that you've presented in the market analysis, now you are saying, this is how I'm going to position myself in order to make sales. This is how I'm going to advertise my business. This is how I'm going to promote my business. This is how I'm going to be positioning myself in the market so that I am at an advantage, so that I'm able to make the sales that I most definitely need in my business. Here, you're addressing a lot of different things, such as how you will sell, how you will get into contact with your customers, your customer segments, your pricing strategies. You can also include the 4 P's of marketing here. The 4 P's of marketing are basically product, price, place, promotion. This is where you can actually, elaborate on those within your business plan. The next area is your production operational plan. This is where you talk about the day-to-day running of the business. This is what happens, like the processes that need to be followed from, a perspective of producing the product or the service until it is delivered to the customers. So here you're talking about the entire process, the facilities, what needs to, the steps that need to be followed until the product or the service is ready to be consumed by the market, things like that. This is where you get into your internal business processes or production processes, organizational processes, okay? The other element that you can also include in your business plan is the management team. It's very important to give your finder or financier, or as you're planning your business and rolling it out and building your business plan, just to let them know of who is going to be running this business. Because I know it's a bit unfair, but basically this is how the market works, okay? It's a bit unfair to say that if you don't have certain qualifications or experiences, because this is what you incorporate within the management team. You say, these are the people that are going to be leading the business. These are their responsibilities. This is their expertise, their experience, their qualifications, things like that, the educational background. I know it's a bit unfair in terms of sometimes a person who has got no experience in the specific business can actually excel in it. But I think you just need to structure it properly to say, okay, this person has never been in this industry, but because of their exposure to a different industry and because of the lessons they have learned in that industry, they can incorporate them, bring them on board within this business. And you just need to be very smart when you're presenting these areas. But it's important to also, reflect a little bit on who is going to be leading the business itself. Another section that is very much important and sometimes entrepreneurs prefer not to include is the risk management or the risk plan, the risk assessment of the business, okay? Whenever you're talking about every time you're talking about a risk, always come up with a mitigation strategy. So you're going to present what are some of the problems in the industry or the space or that the business can actually face. What problems can the business face in the finances, in the operations of the business, in the marketing space, whatever, all the different areas that you can think of, come up with certain risks and be realistic, because a funder is going to say, but I know that there is a risk like this that has, that is within this industry that you're operating in, but you do not touch on it. Touch on it and come up with a mitigation strategy to say, in my business, this is how I'm going to deal with this risk. This is how I'm going to mitigate this risk. These are the measures I'm going to put in place to ensure that I don't, fall prey to this risk, or at least I'm prepared when the risk actually happens or if it might happen. The next section is financial or funding requirements. I call it the resource requirements list. I do it, I incorporate it. It's very important that you also do it, okay? So basically here, you're writing basically what it is that you need. What do you need? What do you need funding for? What do you need financing for? How much do you need? What are you going to do with the money that you get? You're going to spend it on this and this and this and that. So you need to just outlay it properly. These are the things that I need. Do not request or put in this section things that are not related to the business. It needs to make business sense that if you are buying you are buying a tractor, it's because you have got a couple of hectares of land that you would like to actually cultivate. You cannot want a tractor if your business is a restaurant, because it does not make business sense, okay? So always be careful that when you are writing the resource requirements, don't be too excited to incorporate things that like maybe think, no, this is an opportunity for me to chip something in. That could throw your business plan off, okay? So focus on things that relate, like be honest and be truthful. Try to be as transparent as possible. This is what I think I need in the business, and this is how much it is. And if you give me this money, this is how I'm going to spend it. This is the cost. So this is what you are doing in this section, okay? The next one is your financial projections. This is a very much important aspect of the business plan. Most experts, most funders, most financiers, they're going to read your executive summary, rush to your finances and see if they make sense before they actually get into the body of the business plan itself. So make sure that you spend a lot of time in doing your financial projections. So basically here, you're talking about the sales. How much money or how many sales do you project you're going to make? How many units are you going to sell? At what cost? Make sure that all the assumptions that you make are clearly visible. If you feel they're not coming through in terms of the spreadsheets or the tables that you put, you can literally type them out and put a heading that says, these are the assumptions I've made in building this business plan, okay? So you're projecting the sales, you're projecting the expenses, you're projecting so many different things, how the cash is going to be flowing, the income that you're going to make, the losses that you're going to make, depreciation, a lot of different things. But at the core of financial projections is you need to have at least a minimum of 3 statements: cash flow statement, a statement of income and loss, and a statement of financial position. Those are the important elements that one who is a financier, a funder, or support of the business we want to also look at. So make sure that you spend a lot of time to unpack this and present them properly. And the last one is appendices or attachments. These attachments, I think it's important that when you're submitting your business plan, you also include these attachments. And I just wanted to focus on compliance document, basic compliance documents of the business, okay? I have another video that says funding readiness. Find it here on YouTube on my channel, funding readiness, as talking about the 10 different compliance documents that you need to have within your business. So incorporate those within the last section of the business plan. Just put a table that says annexures or appendices or attachments attachments, and then just list the compliance documents that you have as a business. Sometimes they will not be requested or required upfront, but sometimes they might be required upfront. So I think it positions yourself appropriately. It positions your business greatly. Like you have an advantage if someone only requests your business plan, and then at the back or at the end of the business plan you also include that I do have these compliance documents. It makes you seem like you know what you're doing. Okay. Anyway, that is everything that I wanted to touch on. I hope that there is something that you have learned and you are going to be able to make use of these information to incorporate it within your business, especially if you're planning to build a business plan. Be aware that I also offer this service, and if you want to make use of it, you can find me on my email. Just check on my bio. You're going to find my email address right there. Please make sure that if you are new, you consider subscribing if this information resonates with you, and also press on the notification bell so that you are kept abreast of when we put out new videos. Otherwise, that is all from me for today. Until next time, stay absolutely blessed.